Okay, so I just want to show this guy. This is Casey Zander. I did make one previous video about him, but I kind of am bored sometimes and I'll watch videos. I watched a lot of these dating coach videos. I'm very happy with my girlfriend, but I still sometimes watch these videos. I like trying to understand what happened with my divorce. It's like my wife had it as good as a woman could kind of have it, for our budget bracket. And she was always unhappy and then divorced and just destroyed every single thing that I tried to build up for the family. I couldn't understand it. Why would somebody do that? There was no logic behind it. And watching him, I understand things. He tells you that you have to be careful about what you say and do around a woman because she'll destroy it just to spite you. And it's weird, but it's true. I could give my wife $1 million and she'd get upset about that. Okay. So anyways, this guy, out of all the dating coaches, he has the best psychology. It's like reverse psychology, double psychology. And the things he says are true in my experience, in the experience of my talking to friends. So if you want to see a great psychologist, the other thing I know is that the American universities have become worthless. They become like, communist indoctrination centers for left-wing propaganda. They're just nonsense. They'll never say anything negative about a woman. They're totally in favor of feminizing the entire country to help, make it collapse, okay? So, what's happening is on the internet, you have a chance to hear noble masculinity where guys are just trying to figure out what the truth is. Okay, in the university, everything is always lying. You have to always... the party's always right, the ideology, men are always bad, And so anyways, this guy, he's really smart, Casey Zander. There's a lot of other good dating coaches, but he's the best one. He goes into the little psychology of the little conversations with a woman. And as a woman gets older, they tend to become more reasonable, but not always, not always. I've seen women do amazing things that are 100% against their own best interest, 100% against the best interest of their children. Okay, it's bizarre, but they do it. And as a guy, you have to kind of like try to learn how to understand them, and you have to kind of play it safe. Because he made a good point. For example, he said that the typical guy wants the traditional white picket fence, house in the suburb, big happy family. Not all guys want that, but the typical guy, that's what they want. Picks a woman, he's happy with her, and he wants to live happily ever after. That's what the average guy wants. And I think that's true based on my experience of talking to guys. I'll give you a typical story. I have a doctor friend, real smart guy, real good looking guy. He's real tall too. And anyways, he's married to this lady and they got 3 kids and he wants to buy a better house for them, move to a better suburb. So he takes a second job and he makes a lot of money, this guy. He was probably making about $500,000 at the time, but he wanted the family to have a better, before that he's making about $250,000. Then he doubled his salary to $500,000. So anyways, his wife complains that he's neglecting her, not paying attention. She just has a random affair, cheats on him. And they get divorced, and now he has to pay double alimony. He spends the next 4 years of his life working 6 days a week, paying double alimony. Okay, so he loses his house. His wife who cheated on him caused all the trouble, and he did love her because I saw when she was sick one time, and he was all worried like he's about to cry. She had like a false positive mammogram, and so what I'm trying to say is, the guy got totally screwed for doing the best he could, and that's common. Lots of guys I've seen that happen to. Okay, so anyways. Casey Zander is the best of working out the nuance because it's difficult for a man to understand a woman. Some of them, my mom was the greatest person I ever met in my whole life. And I think a lot of the old time women, they really wanted a family. They had old time values, but a lot of the modern women, they've been sort of, brainwashed into this feminism and this idea of all men are bad and having a family is for losers, that a real successful woman, is a career woman or something. I don't even know how to explain it, but he goes into incredible detail that's the best I've ever seen about the psychology of a man and a woman in a relationship. And guys benefit from knowing this. They're much less likely to get chumped.